The British 30th Corps has been stalled by Kampfgruppe Leer, preventing any hopes the enemy may have of a hasty advancement. Despite this, they continue their progress towards Germany. Enemy movements indicate they will be attempting to cross over the Wilhelmina Canal at best. Kampfgruppe Leer is to destroy the bridge prior to the arrival of 30th Corps. Do not fail me.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Sir Cypher here with Let's Play Company of Heroes, the Panzer Elite Campaign Mission 5. We're about halfway through the campaign. And more bridges. And also windmills, because we're in Holland of course, so we must have windmills and tulips. This what you see here, this airborne assault, is not obviously very accurate. Not really how Operation Market Garden went down.
The house is in shambles, Mother says, without a roof. The family has relocated to Uncle's estate in Duisburg.
Then tell me, dear brother, what in God's good name are we fighting for? The fatherland is destroyed. We have no home.
Give up now and we fight for nothing. Do not let the American propaganda fool you.
Americans!
So, we gotta defend this area.
Paratroopers, defend our positions.
Now, let's see here. I really want to get support command. We'll get bazookas. I'm gonna hold off now because I mostly want to get Panzer strike infantry. Now, the Americans are just dropping in the middle of our positions, and that's not really what happened, but it is actually what happened in the German invasion of Sicily. Was it Sicily? No, I think it was Crete. It was Crete. The Germans just like dropped guys out of the planes directly on British positions, and they all died.
They're everywhere. Our support command abilities have been upgraded.
There's a paradrop on the forest to the west.
I really want to build a Panzer IV, but I guess I can't yet.
Target destroyed.
So I'll just blast all these guys.
Ready for mission orders.
The enemy really likes having these missions where paratroopers drop on you for some reason.
Go ahead. Moving out on combat patrol. Grenadiers upgrading. Infantry section ready to move out.
Now, fun fact, these are assault rifles on the ground, and you can actually give your troops, Panzer strikes and still pick one up. So that's kind of cool.
We have eliminated the enemy once more.
Got that one too. But for the most part, nothing too crazy going on here. Gonna build a logistics company, get some more Panzer strikes, and start picking up all these resources that are all over the map.
There's no time to waste. Let's move. Ready for orders. Form up.
Oh, they get healed from all the way over there, from the base? Huh. I didn't know that. I guess we'll get some more Panzer Grenadiers. You can never have too many Panzer Grenadiers own.
We are upgraded and ready for action. Just say the word.
I'm not sure which bridge they're trying to cross. I'll retreat those guys. Again, nothing really too terribly exciting going on here. Again, a lot of the tension is taken out of these missions because Panzer Grenadiers are just so incredible ballers that They don't really have to be afraid of most other types of infantry.
Moving to a new location. Orders coming.
Reinforcements are mustering.
Except for some exceptions, like... Well, I guess airborne's an exception, but only really veteran airborne.
Proving its superiority once again.
Ready. Patrop orders. Advancing to contact. Men standing by.
Oh, look at all these poor paratroopers. Got set on fire.
Flak Panzer Wirbelwind is now in support. Thank God.
Alright, so we get a Wirbelwind Flak Panzer, which we're going to use to even more brutally murder these paratroopers.
They have destroyed an enemy unit. Increased sizes are now possible.
Ready to pass on orders. We're ready for orders. Improvements underway. Ready to respond. Attack corridor noted. We'll probe for enemy contact.
It's sort of interesting, the history of airborne operations
Enemy once more.
in World War II, because it was almost always very big successes followed by very big failures, because commanders tended to basically overestimate how effective airborne forces were, especially in use by themselves. So, for example,
even now.
the Germans were very effective with airborne forces and their invasions of Belgium, and their invasions of Greece, the Netherlands, or no, not the Netherlands, Denmark. I might be getting some of these wrong, but they were effective in a lot of places, and they were like, wow, this is like, paratroopers are basically invincible. We can just drop them in the middle of the enemy. The enemy will have no idea what's going on. We can just kill basically everyone before they even have a chance to respond. And that's obviously not what happens. So basically, for every base airborne success, at least in my opinion, it's followed by an equally sort of big failure. For example, the actually pretty effective airborne operations before D-Day were followed by this, because again, they saw D-Day and the airborne operations there, and they go, wow, you know, an airborne force can really paralyze an enemy sort of network of transportation, of roads and supply and stuff, before a main assault force arrives. And based on that, they decided to do Operation Market Garden, which is pretty similar actually to what paratroopers were supposed to do on D-Day. But paratroopers by themselves are not that effective, because they get overrun really quickly without support. And that was really the problem. As soon as the assault force in Operation Market Garden got bogged down, the paratroopers who had dropped further up the line had nothing to support them. And they all got surrounded, just like if the D-Day invasion had failed, or even taken a day or two longer than normal, all of the U.S. paratroopers would probably be dead or captured.
Squad, up Grenadiers moving out. Let's go. Grenadiers ready.
So, but I'm just kind of small talking, because as you can see, these paratroopers are coming down, but in numbers and in concentrations that aren't really any threat to me. I'll keep at least one guy here to guard the base. Should probably take like 2 minutes
now
to guard
able
the
to
base.
enjoy the benefits of our Jaeger command upgrade. Our base is under attack. The enemy
Gonna
is
get a Martyr
weakening
3,
even
because
now.
we're gonna need it for the second half of the mission. Just run over here and cut these guys up. Assault rifles.
Fucking hell, we're in the wrong DC!
I never knew if you zoomed in on the paratroopers, you'd actually hear what they
We have
say.
eliminated the enemy once more.
Kampfgruppe Lear. We must wait for further orders before committing to an assault.
out. We await your command.
Panzer Grenadier reinforcements are mustering. Tank Buster reinforcements are mustering.
Ready to respond.
Brother, we have American paratroopers dropping on our heads. They have already taken the bridge, here, and secured a number of drop zones. To make matters worse, the rest of our Kampfgruppe is still en route from Best.
We must hold Best until Voss and the troops from Falkensward arrive. Aldrich, mobilize the troops, neutralize the drop zones and delay the 30th Corps until we can link up with Voss and the Kampfgruppe. Kampfgruppe at attention!
Security pickets have reported 5 major drop zones in the area. The locations must be seized to stop any further paradrops.
Drop zone is under Kampfgruppe Leer control.
Infantry section ready to move out. Marder here. Send your orders. Ready for orders.
Alright, so we'll advance, and since this is not going to be that terribly complicated, I'm probably going to mumble more about airborne operations, because I think they're interesting. The biggest German airborne operation of the war, to my knowledge, was, as I sort of briefly mentioned earlier, the invasion of Crete. And it was really the first time in history that a campaign was designed to be basically completely carried out by airborne soldiers. And it didn't go that well. I mean, the Germans took the island, but like I said, they dropped basically on top of Allied forces, and they took really heavy casualties. And the problem is with airborne operations, especially risky ones, where all airborne operations are risky ones, is that when they go badly, they go very badly, because there's obviously nowhere to run off to, because you're behind enemy lines. And that's doubled by the fact that it obviously takes a really long time to train paratroopers, and they're much more valuable than normal troops. So the Battle of Crete, I mean, the Germans took it eventually, but their airborne troopers took such heavy casualties that they were never really used, in that they were never really used again offensively in any great numbers till the end of the war.
Assault Grenadiers reinforcements
Because they
are
never really
mustering.
recovered.
Go ahead. Reinforcements ready for deployment.
Alright, so about to go advance on this thing here. I think I'm actually going to take Scorched Earth, because I really want to get... Oh, I can't get Hummels? Damn. Can I cancel it? No, I can't. Shoot. That is very unfortunate. Oh
We
well.
can now booby-trap buildings to confound the enemy.
When I played this on the little test thing, I played as Luftwaffe, and it was okay, but I much rather would be get Hummels, which hopefully you'll see I'll be able to get in a future mission. Hummels are just the bee's knees, let me tell you. So we'll advance. I'm gonna try and spread my troops out so they all don't get pinned down by the same machine gun, which is probably gonna happen anyway.
Go ahead. Maximum aggression and firepower. Move quickly and encircle their positions. Spread out. Don't get machine guns.
We have destroyed an enemy unit.
Panzer ready. AT gun. Return fire. Fire. Say again. Get ready to engage the enemy. Crew, get us ready for anti-tank.
So they're shooting their AT gun at my Marder 3, but I think this incendiary grenade is hopefully going to take care of them. There we go. And we'll throw some incendiary grenades in this house and capture this point over here on this side. I think there were some paratroopers here, judging by the dead bodies, but I guess they're all dead now. So we'll keep advancing over there, and I'll finally get a Panzer IV, which I don't think you guys have seen yet.
Go ahead. Let's shake it out. Schnell.
Oh, these guys are still in this house?
Standing by. Ready.
Can we get more to support the layer? There's an MG covering.
Enemy unit eradicated.
Time to take the fight to the enemy.
So,
That's one less staging point for the
let's see
Americans.
here, just capturing all these
Forward
points.
observers are sighting a massive column moving into the area. We have some time before they arrive, but we cannot let them cross the bridge.
Now,
The road to Arnhem must be protected.
it says we're supposed to capture X number of drop zones, but really there's a thing, and once you capture, I think, 3 of them,
Radio reports
the
indicate
next
our
stage of the
demolition
mission
should be
starts.
arriving soon. Hold for orders.
Oh, there it goes.
Paratroopers.
Barf.
Advancing to contact.
Go ahead, artillery! Get out of the kill zone!
Fall back! Fall back!
Hauptmann we've lost contact with Falkenswart. The 9th SS is unaccounted for. This means the 30th Corps is pushing hard for Best. We cannot risk allowing them to gain a foothold. The bridge must be destroyed. The Kampfgruppe Leer demolition crew has been stalled by engine troubles, but their transport will drop them at this location when they arrive. As soon as the pioneers arrive, wire the bridge with demolitions. What we need now is swift action. Destroy that damn bridge.
The enemy will be pushing hard across the bridge and maintain a secure path along Highway 69. If they are successful at advancing any of their command trucks past Best, the initiative will have been lost. Kampfgruppe Leer will provide defensive support for the demolitions crew upon their arrival.
Okay, so this is kind of not good. We need to advance up the middle of this road, but annoyingly, it sort of started before I was prepared for it. But no matter.
On a Panzer IV chassis, she carries a short-barreled 75mm low-velocity gun used with high explosive shells for infantry and fortifications.
The demolitions crew transport has arrived.
That,
Get those pioneers to the bridge.
if I lose my... Oh my goodness.
Not let good men
These
die.
assholes.
The pioneers need support.
Losing my
Their
orbital
work in
wind because of the...
and
Oh, I
they're
know
not
it's gonna
easily
live.
replaced.
I should probably upgrade
We have
advanced
lost a
repair.
Panzer.
Nope, I lost my orbital wind. Grr.
Fall in. Combat mission. Dress off.
So, I'm gonna keep advancing here.
Let's go. Corridor noted. Ready to move. Grenadiers ready.
Right, back these guys out. Now, this is going to be slightly more difficult than I anticipated, mostly because of the fact that I'm going to have to fight my way to the town, and normally I just walk to the town.
Rifles ready. Noise discipline being organized. Men standing by. We're taking fire here.
Our engineering has stepped even further ahead of our enemy. Advanced repair is available. Kampfgruppe Leer has proven its
Oh, the enemy
superiority once
has a
again.
mortar team and stuff. Barf. Really, I just need to kill this tank team. Or this machine gun team. Now, the Panzer IV, this is like an early war Panzer IV, and it has a short-barreled anti-infantry gun, as opposed to the more sort of famous high-velocity gun that you normally see on Panzer IVs in this game.
Send your mission orders.
Swing fire! Swing fire! They're behind the trees!
We need more Panzer Grenadiers. Well, first I need to heal these guys.
Tank buster reinforcements are mustered. We have eliminated the enemy once more.
Tank ready. Crew, get us ready for anti-tank.
And also you can lock down the Panzer IV, and it'll shoot basically really fast. And then it basically just munches infantry into pieces. It's extremely effective against enemy infantry. And when you upgrade it with the armor skirts, as you can see, basically makes it so infantry don't do shit to it.
Go ahead, sir. Ready to respond.
It's one of the only it's one of the only armored vehicles in this game that is actually pretty effective against anti-tank infantry. Basically, the only way to effectively deal with the Panzer IV infantry support tank is with a better tank.
Calliope will do nothing but harass us. If an opportunity presents itself,
Oh god, rockets. Oh, they blew up this house.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I was gonna turn that house into a...
Reloading. Cover me.
I was gonna turn that into a,
Artillery. Get out
a
of the kill
dealie.
zone.
Into a forward base. But I'll just turn this other little small house into a forward base.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Go ahead. Fall back.
Infantry are pinned. Let's see here.
Orders coming. Form up. Understood.
Kind of sad that I can't build Hummels. I was really looking forward to that. Instead, I'm going to build some more. I'll build another Marder 3.
Objective secured. Squad, ready. Go ahead. Panzer ready. Ready, sir.
Oh.
Deploy. Handgranate.
Oh, I never realized that a 105 here. So,
Ready for all groups.
pretty much with the Marder 3, when the Marder 3 gets here and everything else,
Grenadiers ready. Squad
I should be
moving out.
pretty solid on defending this road.
Over. Squad, move
I
over.
still am going to have some problems. I actually should get this Marder 3 over here.
Panzer ready.
Post haste.
What are your orders to adjust attack? Crew, get us ready for multi-tank fire. Panzer Jäger ready.
And these guys. Got a third Marder 3 up here. Basically, tanks are going to keep coming down this road. And obviously, Marder 3s eat tanks for breakfast. So there's that. Ah, shoot, I need some more munitions.
Squad, ready. Break contact and follow me. Confirm our readiness.
Alright.
Grenadiers here. Understood. Moving to capture.
Oh, shoot.
Keep your spacing. I don't want
A classic flanking maneuver. Oh, wait, they have a machine gun on this side, too? Oh, no, there's 15 machine guns.
Assault grenadiers. Allied infantry annihilated.
As you can see,
Assault grenadiers moving out.
assault grenadiers, no joke once they get their assault rifles. So there more. I think there's more rockets just came in, but we almost can get the this bad boy. And I'm gonna actually just park my Panzer IV up here as basically just a target for the enemy to shoot at.
Yes, sir.
What is? I didn't realize the enemy dropped gliders. That's interesting.
The enemy's tanks do not stand a chance against our superior fighting capabilities.
Stop stacking troops. Ready. Go ahead. Improvements underway. Ready for orders. Jawohl. Squad move.
So
Headquarters wants the bridge destroyed. We need to wire it before the Tommies can
oh, these
cross.
jerks.
Engage new target. Yeah. Modern.
So obviously
Heading out. Yes, sir.
I could probably wire the bridge now,
Weakening even now.
but I want to get the secondary objective. I probably will in a second run over the bridge and kill the Calliope,
Grenadiers on the move.
because that's obviously no fun to deal with.
Grenadiers here. Good shot. Prepare to move. Advancing to contact. Contact under fire. As ordered. Moving out.
These airborne are a little bit harder to take down than the machine gun teams, because the airborne actually have a slightly different armor type, and they have a lot of health. But not too bad. So, I'm not sure where all these guys went who captured this point. And I'll actually start to drive this truck up here. But
Tank buster reinforcements
now have a little forward base here.
They have destroyed an enemy
I can
unit.
make sure all of my tanks are repaired. Oh no, not more rockets. I wonder where they're gonna land.
Go ahead, sir. Ready to move.
Of course.
Moving to location.
Headquarters wants the bridge destroyed. We need to wire it before the Tommies can cross.
Fortunately, it seemed to miss most of my infantry.
Eingang.
Alright, so
Fearless
enough dilly-dallying. We'll take these final points.
armor.
Then we'll run across the bridge and take out that Calliope.
Combat mission. Dress off.
Can I call sector artillery on enemy territory? No. Well, the Scorched Earth was basically useless to me, but that's okay. I could actually explain it a little bit more. Scorched Earth, the biggest thing it does, at least at the beginning of the game, is booby traps. And normally, to give your normal squads booby traps, you have to get the upgrades. But your Kettenkrad, as soon as you choose that as your option, you can deploy
We
booby
have
traps.
destroyed an enemy unit.
So it's pretty rad. You can run your Kettenkrad over to a really good strategic point at the beginning of the game and booby trap it, and that's pretty effective. And then you can have sector artillery, which is pretty close to any of the other defensive abilities, in that enemies who come into an area get bombarded with artillery. Roadblocks are basically tank traps. Scorched Earth, you can disable strategic points so no one can capture them. And Hummels are basically 105s on steroids, or they're just really good. They're just like brutal artillery pieces, and I'm a big fan. But I think we've taken out all this business here. So we'll capture the remaining drop zones. The enemy's trying to drive across this bridge, but, you know, good luck with that. Surprised my martyrs can't shoot them from here. Ah, run.
Ready to move out.
An enemy unit has fallen to our might.
Squad out.
So we'll spruce all these tanks up really quick,
Ready to move. Panzer grenadiers.
and then we'll run across the bridge and
Executed with skill. Well done, Kampfgruppe Leer. All American drop zones are now secured.
these assholes. Where are these guys coming from each time? You know what?
Kampfgruppe, sector artillery incoming.
Ready now. On me.
Get those fucking assholes!
Die. I think sector artillery stops if you can't actually see the zone. Anyway, we are ready to do this. The one thing we need still is AT grenades.
Headquarters wants the bridge destroyed. We need to wire it before the Tommies can cross.
Steady up, squad. Combat mission.
Other than that,
Send your mission orders. Send over. Advance
I think we are ready.
Marder at the ready.
Hear that?
Marder at the ready. Jawohl. Got that bandit for contact. Got that bandit.
The enemy is weakening even
Sector
now.
artillery, ladies and gentlemen.
Locked out. Moving on target mark.
Alright, so let's do this.
Panzer, anti-tank grenades are available to eliminate enemy armor.
I think it's over here somewhere. So we'll just try and... Oh my goodness, what is this?
Enemy unit eradicated.
Well, we lost one squad at the very beginning. There's a sniper, I guess.
Infantry reinforcements are preparing for action.
Ready. Dress off into Schützentuch. Steady up, squad.
Will do!
Assault grenadiers ready for order.
So, I guess the enemy's calling in artillery here, but whatevs. Hello, Mr. Calliope. Oh, I just missed it.
Headquarters wants the bridge destroyed. We need to wire it before the Tommies can cross.
Huh. This Calliope has a lot of armor. These Panzer strikes are not doing the damage they should be. But with that, we're pretty solid.
Finish the job, Kampfgruppen.
Now we can just drive the little
The enemy's armor is proving to be even weaker than we thought.
our little thingy, our little engineers up here, and if we park, if we park that over there, and we park these way up here, we should be fine. Where actually is my little squad of guys? Alright, dudes.
Regroup in the DZ!
Tank destroyer waiting for the orders.
What? What happened to my...
Go ahead, sir. We're waiting our orders. Marder here. What are your orders? Here and start stacking shells. Orders coming in. We see them.
Superiority once again.
Use the trade for cover.
Ready to respond. Tank buster reinforcements are ready to move out.
Move out.
Tank buster reinforcements are mustering.
Headquarters wants the bridge destroyed. We need to wire it before the Tommies can cross.
Start stacking shells.
So, get over there, you. It's kind of annoying how quickly the enemy, why can't this tank move? Oh, there we go. It was locked down. Okay. So we'll drive these over here too. Oh.
An enemy unit
And I'll drive this tank over here too. And we'll just lock the thing down. Rawr. Kill the mortar team. Alright, well that slaughter's going on. We'll blow up the bridge.
enemy unit eradicated.
Panzer ready. Pocket here. Start stacking shells, Commander. Go ahead with orders.
Send orders! Assault grenadiers advancing!
Break contact.
Orders! We are to break contact! Assault grenadiers
The enemy
advancing!
flees like cowards. Meanwhile, my engineers are demoing the bridge. I wonder if I can have, I guess I can only have one squad blow up the bridge at a time. You notice that if you have them build demo charges on a thing like a bridge, this is true in the multiplayer game as well. Your troops will actually plant multiple charges, and they won't finish blowing up or demoing the bridge until all the charges are set. So for this bridge, they have to put 4, which I think is the max. I don't think there's any bridges that require 6. And then 1 demo charge appears. But before that, we don't want to sacrifice our troops. So we will retreat across the bridge.
Keep your spacing. I don't want bunching up.
In a semi-orderly fashion. I really love Panzer IV infantry support tanks. I think they're a really cool tactical unit that doesn't really have an analog in most of the other factions of an anti-heavy infantry vehicle that has a lot of armor. We'll wait for this. It's gonna blow it up in the bridge. I'll wait till the command truck gets on the bridge. Really fun is to blow up like a whole guy's army on the bridge. Well, thanks, Martyr 3. Alright, so we beat mission 5. And we captured all the drop zones, and we destroyed the Calliopes, and everything's great. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day.